Hi, this is Rebecca from Box of Chocolates Crafts, and I've got a tutorial for you here called Trapped Crystal. I wanted to make that tag that you saw there earlier, and so I decided to come up with a technique to make an ice rink. So I started by you can barely see it, but I started by drawing a shape on the paper in the shape of an ice rink. This would actually be for a card because this is bigger than my example. And then you're going to squeeze a clear, glossy adhesive, like glossy accents, all over your shape. Then you're going to grab a palette knife, which I grab here in a second, and you're going to use that to smooth the adhesive all over your shape. It doesn't have to be too perfect. You do want to draw your shape on a paper that has at least 1/2 inch to 1 inch extra on the sides of your shape, because you will have the glue spreading a little further than your shape and you don't want to make a big mess on your table. And this is the easiest way to contain it. You also need a piece of acetate that will cover your shape, and again with a little bit extra, at least 1/2 inch. So make sure you do clean off your palette knife right away, because this glue will be very, if impossible, if not very hard to remove, if not impossible. So I've got some glitter here. These are actually called Mylar flakes. I tried finding a brand for you to be able to know what to buy if you really like this particular type of glitter. Unfortunately, I could only find it on Amazon, meant for nail art. I don't know where I got this. It must have been in a bag or something. It seems I condensed it to a jar, and it was a long time ago, and I didn't think to write down the brand name or where I got it from. So it's just simply Mylar flakes in a jar. Sorry about that. Any kind of very chunky glitter, snow glitter, something like that should work. You might want iridescent, possibly. This actually isn't. It's very shiny, but it's not iridescent. But you just want to spread whatever kind of glitter you choose. I found that really fine glitter didn't work that well. You want to spread it all over your shape. And then I'm grabbing a coffee filter, and I'm going to tap off the excess on there. Don't hold it vertical for too long, because your glue will start to run. And you're going to lay it back down on your surface, and you're going to add your acetate. So we need a little smushing action here when you put the acetate down, because you want the glue to actually come up through the glitter and touch the acetate. So I'm sort of smushing it around. Now this is when the glue is going to go far past your original shape. It tends to get air bubbles at the edges, so it's actually sort of a good thing, because it allows you to cut down your shape later and still have the shape you want without any weird air bubbles or the glue not touching at the sides. So if you missed any spots with glitter, you can probably move some glitter from an adjoining spot. Try not to get the glitter. That's what just happened to me. The glue. I got the glue on my finger, so I'm just wiping my finger there, so it doesn't spread all over the top of the acetate, because you want it nice and shiny without any lines from the adhesive at the end. So just smush it all around until you get it how you like it. And then you're going to grab some clamps of some sort. You could use possibly big paper clips. I've used some bamboo clothespins. I find if any adhesive gets on them, it comes off fairly easily. You could use binder clips, anything you want, just something that won't mar your project. And I'm just going to put those all around. This will tend to warp because the adhesive is very liquid. And once you've let it dry a little bit, you're actually going to come back to it, take off the clamps, and dry it a different way. If you've used heat-resistant acetate, you can dry it the way I'm going to show, which is with a heat gun. If not, you can put a book over it. It will probably take about a day to dry, I would think. You definitely want to use something porous so the water in the adhesive has somewhere to go. So if you're going to dry it with your heat gun, you want to smooth it out every so often. I've it here to a board. Now you can see here what happens if you don't smooth it. You get some weird air bubbles. It's hard to tell the difference, but when you see the next picture, hopefully you can see that I've now pressed the air bubbles out and it's nice and smooth. So I'm going to continue heating this until it's all dry. It can be sort of deceiving. It can seem dry, but if you press on it really hard, you may find it's actually still squishing around under there. And if the back feels cold, then it's still not dry either. Now I tried some other glitters. Unfortunately, the camera did not pick up the differences between them. So I will refer you to a still shot of these little samples that I used. I used some glass glitter, some very fine glitter, a Martha Stewart tinsel glitter, basic fine iridescent white glitter, and then the mylar flakes that I used in the example are also there too. I also decided I would try it out for you guys on some pattern paper. So this is a scrap of pattern paper with a very tiny little heart detail. I used the same, oh, actually, sorry, I didn't use the same glitter. I used the Glitter Ritz Warm Highlights glitter to try it out, and it looked pretty good. It might look better with a colored glitter. I'm not really sure if the pattern paper would show through then, but we'll see. And there's the final tag. Again, the video really doesn't do it justice, but if you check out the still photo, you can see how pretty and sparkly it is. Thanks for watching the video. Take care. Bye.